Hey, Malina from Color Art Emotion here. In this video, we'll be sketching on location this cozy place from Stockholm. I go very often to an art supply store that is just a few minutes away, and every time I pass around this place, I always say, I'll sketch this place one day. You know, the usual postponing. But this time there was a very beautiful late afternoon light that doesn't last too long. So I went to the art store and quickly came back and set my sketching camp here. I'm sitting close to the corner of this building, hopefully not in the way of the people passing by, which is super important for a good outdoor sketching experience. As you see, there is a nice and cozy T-intersection of small stone streets, with cute buildings, a nice shadow cast on the building in front, and a general, relaxed, late afternoon atmosphere. From the art store, I got this water brush, a medium round Tombow water brush. And they are called water brushes because part of them is a water reservoir that you can fill in advance from home, so you won't need to carry extra water with you. And I'm doing a quick thumbnail sketch to get more familiar with the subject and also to warm up a bit. As you see, I start with a small pencil sketch of the scene, and then I'll continue with adding watercolor with my new water brush and my Winsor & Newton half pans of watercolors. So, as a first impression, the water brush feels very solid. You have to push quite strong on the water reservoir to let the water out. I think this is good because you have more control over the amount of water. The brush is synthetic and has a fine point that is good for details as well. For big washes, like on a bigger format paper, I think it's not so convenient. The brush is quite small, so you can't cover big areas fast with just a few brush strokes. But I think it comes very handy for small practice sketches, like this thumbnail that I'm doing now. The biggest advantage that I see is that you can have a very small outdoor setup with a water brush, a pencil, a small watercolor palette, and your favorite sketchbook. All these fit in a small bag and you can have them all the time with you. So every time you see a nice view, you can sketch it right away and stop postponing. And I'm very curious if there are water brushes that are bigger and maybe with softer hair. I think I would love to try a brush like that. This is my first impression of the Tombow water brush. I'm sure some of you have used water brushes for a longer time than me. So let me know in a comment below. What do you think about water brushes? Do you have one? Do you like them? I'm very curious to know your opinion about water brushes. About the sketch that I'm doing now, I think I've used a bit too much green in the shadows, so in the bigger painting I'll replace some of the green with violet and we'll see how that goes. So now that I've done a thumbnail sketch and I'm more familiar with the scene, the next step is to start a bigger painting. Sometimes these sketches turn out very nice and you feel super proud of them. Sometimes they get too messy and you realize that you should have stopped a bit earlier. So here I'm doing a pencil sketch, placing the main shapes. I started with placing the horizon line and the vanishing point. The scene is one point perspective as we are looking directly at the building in the center. There weren't many people passing by, so when these two persons came with their bicycles, I tried to sketch them as fast as I could. It's so funny when you switch to autopilot and just let your hand free to draw as quickly as possible. No time to really measure every proportion or placement. Now that we got to the watercolor painting part, I want to tell you that I am super happy with this small palette that I have today with me. I found this old metal box and thought of repurposing it into a mini palette. in my mini palette fit 11 half pans. They are part of my Winsor & Newton set of 48 half pans. The problem with this set is that it is too big, so not so portable. But in a small box like this one, you can put your favorite watercolors and have with you only the ones that you use the most. I'm actually thinking of buying a few more metal boxes like this one and have different color palettes in them, and depending on what I feel like painting, to take with me one or the other. And about this painting, my plan is to have a warm initial layer of raw sienna for the areas that are in light, and more purple tones for the shadows. Close to the end, I felt that I overworked a bit the painting, but I'll let you judge it, and feel free to let me know if you like it or not. And I guess you're watching this video because you love watercolor painting and you want to learn more. Well, I have good news for you. I have prepared for you a list with great watercolor artists from which you can learn a lot. I carefully selected them so that they are all watercolor artists focused on painting architecture and urban scenes. But not only, you'll see. All their works are fascinating and they have such different styles. The list contains 20 of my favorite watercolor artists, with a small description for each artist and different links to their website, books, courses, tips and tricks. So you'll get a very good idea on their style and where to learn more from them. To get the list, follow the link in the description below and in the comment section, and I'll send you a copy of this amazing document that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Now, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the watercolor on location process. Painting in this location was really fun, especially that I found a nice corner to set my base and nothing got in the way of my view. Let me know in a comment below if you're enjoying this video, if you have tried water brushes, and any other thoughts you might have regarding sketching on location.